Medicine with mayoral candidate Mahesh Bhagia. And I'd like to start, sir, if we could, with just the most recent news from last week. And of course, you've already responded to it, but here we are in person. And what was your reaction to the Middlesex County Democratic Committee Chairman, Kevin McCabe, pulling you off the line and supplanting you with Sam Joshi?
So thank you, Max, for coming down here and taking our interview today. Uh, April 8th, 2021 was a dark day in the history of democracy. Uh, Here we saw one man single-handedly picked and awarded the line to his own person, Sam Joshi. This is the worst day for the democracy. We saw what is this bad politics coming out of it, and this is why we are fighting for open and transparent government. All these years, the big reason for Chairman McCabe, to take this big stand, we all know is because we and my team, we are fighting for the vendor reforms. We want vendors in this town to look out for the people of Edison. We don't want to give away the contracts to politically connected and special interest vendors. With a lot of contracts have been given out in this year itself. Almost $1.2 million contracts were given earlier in this year without fair and competitive bidding. Last month itself, a contract of $47,000 was given to an architect without competitive bidding. But we are here, we are going to fight, and it doesn't change anything. We'll still continue to knock the doors. We're going to ask the residents of Edison to look out for our record, look for the candidates that are running along with me, three council candidates, and we will still ask your support. So please come out and support us on June 8th.
Mr. Bhagia, you're suggesting that the town is being incompetently run, or at least it's being run in a way that is not in the interests of the taxpayers. And you mentioned these vendors
Yeah.
and how they're not being competitively bid for. How is that manifesting itself in the taxes? Are you seeing your taxes go up in Edison?
Yeah, absolutely, Max. The biggest, things to balance the budget is, to control the expenses and do a bidding and gets you two things, right? First of all, you can get a better value and also at a good price for the residents. So the good price can definitely help you offset some of the expenses, and at the same time you get better service to the residents of Edison, which is what they have voted us for, which is what they are electing us for. And if we fail to do this job, then we shouldn't be in the office.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about how you got into politics in Edison, but I'd like to first start, if we could, by asking you about this insidious racist flyer that has floated around for the last few years, and now that we're in a mayoral campaign, accusations are flying. Could you please, for the voters of Edison, clarify your role and remove, if you would, any doubt that somehow you were involved in this?
So, Max, the answer is very, very, very simple. I'm enthused that the Attorney General has stepped into and started an investigation to look into this process and taken away this whole thing from the hands of Sam Joshi. For people of Edison, this racist flyer was sent out in 2017. Because of this flyer, Mayor Lanky's election propelled and they won that election. It was a disgusting act, and I've condemned many, many times. Sam Joshi, along with other council candidates, started this committee of the whole in 2019. In 2019, when Shannon Pang was running for election, she was a prime suspect. In 2020, Mohin Patel and Jerry Shee were now the new prime suspects because they were running for election. This year, I'm running for mayor, so against Sam Joshi. So now I'm the new prime suspect. I already testified under the oath before this committee of the whole. It's time for Mayor Lanky, Sam Joshi, Alvaro Gomez, and Bob Deal, who benefited from this flyer, to come out and testify. And quote in quote, the committee of the whole has no power to investigate because Bill Northgrave, who is the township attorney, wrote a letter to Sam Joshi in 2019 that they have no power to investigate this. and still they continue to go on and do this all political drama. And now it's time for them to come out and testify.
So even one of their own allies, or a person who's developed as an ally of this power structure, has condemned or has called into question the legitimacy
Yes.
of this as a body that can investigate. But you say that you can't recall. Can you at least assure voters that you had nothing to do with this flyer?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Max. What happens is in this, everybody knows when you go before the committee of the whole, they purposely do that. They keep asking you same question again and again and again. All these seven people, they are not the judges. They don't have law enforcement experience. They plan this out, right? So what they do is within the hour, they will keep asking you same questions, same repeatedly, but different people. As an individual, your answer has to be still the same because you don't know, I don't know about this, so answer is going to be the same. And then you take this clip of few seconds, okay, and make a public mockery out of it and make me look like I am the prime suspect, okay. So this thing needs to stop. Edison residents and Edison voters are smart enough to understand what's going on, and this kangaroo committee, we need to put a stop to this.
How did you originally get involved in Edison politics? Can you tell me a little bit about your coming to Edison and you're becoming involved in politics, and why is it that you want to be mayor?
So I moved in this town 20 years ago. Since then, I've been involved in some shape and form with local neighborhood issues. What we found is we don't have a government that doesn't listen to the people. So we got involved with the Democratic Party over the years, and we said we need to make a change. We need a government. We need administration who's going to listen to the people of Edison and address their concerns. So over the period, I started getting involved more with the Democratic Party, and last year I got elected as a chairman. And since then I've been trying to convert Edison Democratic Organization from just being the political organization into being a community partner, because that's what is needed during a crisis like COVID. So me, along with all the Democratic committee members, we work together to help the seniors, we help the veterans, we help the people with the getting the mass food supplies, and on top of it we also formed two other big caucuses last year, which is one is Progressive Caucus and Women's Caucus. So all those things we did as a Democratic Party, and we hope that people can look at our track record, what we did over the years, and what we will continue to do moving forward.
You now have this experience with Democrats in Middlesex County that is hardly positive, but do you still believe that the Democratic Party can better serve the people than the Republican Party or some other party?
I'm a strong Democrat, and I strongly believe that the Democratic Party and the values that it brings, it always cares about the residents. Again, there are few people like Chairman McCabe who want to control, who want to be the political bosses, who want to uh, provide us the influence to hire certain vendors through somebody. But again, residents need to look out and say, who are the right candidates, who we are going to elect, and who are going to care, who are going to bring in the vendors that will bring the best dollar value to the people of Edison, and who are not going to be the puppets of the county bosses.
Mr. Bhagia, you're in the hotel business, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
You don't have any connection to government. You don't get a paycheck from government. You're an independent individual. And is this part of why you feel it's important for voters to vote for you over your opponent in the primary? You believe you have a greater range of independence. Fair to say?
Yes, so thanks, Max. For my background, I have a master's in computer science, and I was a vice president for a Fortune 500 company, leading multi-million dollar projects and managing hundreds of employees and hundreds of customers. More recently, since 2015, I am a hotel owner and small business owner, managing and bringing this experience to the township. So the township needs a mayor who has small business experience, managing hundreds of employees, hundreds of customers like our taxpayers, and looking out for them and bringing the best value to the people of Edison.
Where do you see an opportunity to make significant cuts that would save the taxpayers money? Clearly, you're unhappy with the bidding process or lack thereof for the vendors.
Yes.
But what do you see in terms of real dollars as a tax savings? Do you see millions? Do you see what kind of money in terms of savings that you would affect as mayor?
So, as a mayor, we need to look at the whole holistic picture of restructuring the whole budget. Okay, that includes, cutting down unnecessarily expense, fraud, waste from the budget. Okay, we need to refinance our debt, all the loans that we have borrowed over the years at a lower interest rate. Now is the best time to refinance all our debt. And the third thing is to bring back the economic development so that we can do a sensible development, bring the sensible businesses in this town, not just the warehouses in the neighborhoods, we are bringing the trucks in the neighborhoods, but we also want to bring in good businesses by bringing in back the economic development agency and trying to bring in more revenue to this town.
What was your reaction to all these powerful personages and elected officials like the governor and senators getting involved in this race?
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
So, Max, I feel like it's unfortunate that the people in power positions are giving the endorsements. But I hope and I wish that the Edison taxpayers look at the tax record, look at the qualifications of the people who have real business experience, real working experience with the community, who are standing out during the COVID crisis. The COVID crisis was the crisis I have never seen in my entire life. When the crisis happened, whole leadership, including the mayor and the council, most of the council disappeared. I was out on the streets. I filled that gap. We went out starting in last March, giving out PPE masks for the seniors, food pantries, and helping people in need. So I hope people of Edison realize who has done what and who are the people who they get elected who are going to do the right thing for the town.
You feel that that's a critical, your experience
Yes.
will help you win off the line. Is that a fair thing to say? Could you talk a little bit about those contacts you have in the community that would put you in a position to be able to win off the line? Because people see the line and it's so powerful in New Jersey that they say, well, this person is really at a disadvantage. What kind of community organizing and experience do you have that gives you the powerful position even off the line?
So we will still, me and my team, we strongly believe that we are the real members of the community who serve the community. We got elected by the people, Democratic Committee members who are getting elected by all the Democratic members in this town. So we got nominated through the democratic process. And unfortunately, like I said, Max, April 8, 2021 was a dark day in the history of Edison. We are not in a world where a single person is going to override the whole democracy. And I hope people of Edison read through this and understand who are the people who were nominated by the democratic process and come out and support whichever line we are on and support our team because we are the real democratic team elected by them. We are their voice and we promise to work for them day in and out. I will be the full-time mayor along with all my council colleagues. We will work day in and out to make Edison the best town.
What's the most consequential professional decision that you've made or experience that you've had that you want to remind voters about as to why you'll be a good manager and a good executive in this town?
So, so Max, the experience, the real world experience that I bring to the table of many years of professional service, being a small business local owner, being a father of two daughters, one 10th and one in the fourth grade. My wife is a local business owner, a dentist. She owns a dental clinic in Edison. Along with all my council colleagues who come from different backgrounds. Shannon Pang comes from the school background, Sparshil Patel comes from a medical background, and Tom McCain comes from the plumbers and pipe fitters. So all this unique experience that our team brings to the table is definitely we will be the unique team to help the Edison residents to move forward from whatever the mismanaged finances that have been going on, streamlining the process and making the services better for the Edison residents.
Mr. Bhagia, I thank you for your time today, sir, and I look forward to these continued conversations. I'm going to be coming back to the town, and I thank you for your time this evening, and I look forward to the continuing discussion.
Thank you, Max. And as you see here, there are many democratic members who are out there. I knocked the doors today along with them. They knocked in their own district. We are the campaign who's run by the volunteers. No, none of them are asking to be paid, or they are doing it out of the passion. They are organizing. They want to do the right thing. They want to have a right government who's going to represent them. And so please vote for our team on June 8th.
Thank you, sir.